I, 35F, am the youngest of three sisters, and this is the story of how decades of family drama finally exploded at my son's first birthday party. Before getting into the recent chaos, let me explain the complicated history that led to this moment. Growing up in suburban Pennsylvania, my relationship with my oldest sister Lisa, 40F, was always strained, though she got along fine with our middle sister Rachel, 38F. From my earliest memories, Lisa acted more like my first bully than a sister. I still remember my 5th birthday party, when she accidentally pushed me into my cake in front of all my friends, ruining not just my special day but also my favorite dress. While our parents brushed it off as typical sibling rivalry, Rachel pulled me aside later and helped clean me up, setting a pattern that would continue throughout our lives. The bullying only intensified as we got older. When I was in middle school, Lisa would deliberately embarrass me in front of my friends, calling me names and spreading rumors about me. The worst incident happened when I was 13 and had my first crush. Lisa told the boy I liked that I still wet the bed, completely untrue, devastating my social life for months. Rachel tried to intervene, but our parents maintained their stance that sisters sometimes fight, and we needed to work it out ourselves. My teenage years brought new challenges. I developed an interest in alternative music and started expressing myself through darker clothing and makeup. While Rachel helped me experiment with different styles, Lisa mockingly called me Cruella and would make barking noises whenever I walked past her at school. There were even scary moments, like when she'd sneak up behind me near staircases, making me constantly fear for my safety. I found my escape in technology and academics. While Lisa was focused on being the perfect daughter, joining cheerleading and dating the quarterback, I discovered my passion for computer science. By my senior year of high school, I was already doing freelance web development work. This divergence in our paths seemed to fuel Lisa's antagonism even more. After high school, I threw myself into building my career in IT consulting. I graduated from Penn State with honors and quickly landed a position at a prestigious consulting firm in Philadelphia. My success seemed to particularly irritate Lisa, who had chosen a more traditional path, getting married right after college to her high school sweetheart Greg, 41M, and settling into suburban life. Throughout my 20s, my career flourished while my personal life took a back seat. I was traveling across the country for projects, earning promotions, and building a reputation in my field. Rachel, who had become a high school teacher, remained supportive and would often defend my choices during family gatherings. Meanwhile, Lisa would make pointed comments about how I was neglecting family obligations and putting career before everything else. The tension reached a breaking point at my 25th birthday dinner. Lisa announced her first pregnancy right as I was about to blow out my candles. Everyone's attention immediately shifted to her, and my celebration became her impromptu baby shower planning session. When I quietly left the table, only Rachel noticed and followed me to the restroom. "She's jealous because you're successful on your own terms," Rachel explained, hugging me as I tried not to cry. I maintained minimal contact with Lisa over the next few years, focusing instead on advancing my career. By 30, I had been promoted to senior consultant and was leading major digital transformation projects. It was during a tech conference in Boston that I met James, 37M. He was giving a presentation on cybersecurity, and we connected over our shared love of both technology and classic rock. Unlike previous dates who had been intimidated by my career, James was genuinely interested in my work and supported my ambitions. After a year of dating, James proposed during a weekend trip to Cape Cod. I was overjoyed, and for once, I wanted to share my happiness with my entire family. Rachel was thrilled and immediately offered to help with wedding planning. My parents were delighted, though my mother kept asking if I was sure I wanted to settle down at this point in my career. Lisa's reaction was surprisingly positive at first. I spent months planning our wedding, determined to have the perfect day. Having saved up from my consulting work, I found my dream dress, an elegant A-line gown with intricate beading and subtle vintage details. It cost $800, which wasn't extravagant by wedding dress standards, but it represented years of hard work and independence. The dress incident happened 3 months before the wedding. My Aunt Mary, an experienced seamstress, had offered to do the alterations. One afternoon, Lisa showed up at Aunt Mary's house with her 2 large dogs, claiming she wanted to see how the alterations were going. While Aunt Mary was making tea, Lisa deliberately left the sewing room door open, knowing her dogs would go inside. The resulting destruction was complete. The bodice was torn apart, beads were scattered everywhere, and the delicate lace was shredded. When I arrived at Aunt Mary's house after numerous unanswered calls, I found her in tears. She explained what had happened, initially trying to take the blame herself. But something didn't add up. Aunt Mary was known for her meticulousness, and she would never leave a wedding dress unprotected. After gentle questioning, she revealed how Lisa had orchestrated the whole thing, even begging her not to tell me the truth. The confrontation that followed was explosive. I gathered both sisters and our parents at my parents' house, supposedly to discuss wedding plans. Rachel immediately noticed something was wrong, but Lisa walked in smiling, excited about being a bridesmaid. When I revealed what I knew, Lisa's facade cracked. Instead of apologizing, she launched into a tirade about how I always had everything easy, and how I didn't deserve such an expensive dress when she had to wear something off the rack for her own wedding. The truth finally came out. Lisa admitted to deliberately letting her dogs into the room, knowing they would destroy the dress. She could only pay back $500, claiming financial hardship despite her husband's successful career. Our parents were stunned into silence, seeing for the first time the true extent of Lisa's jealousy. I uninvited her from the wedding on the spot. The wedding went ahead with a different dress, paid for partly by my father, who felt guilty about years of ignoring Lisa's behavior. Rachel stood by my side as maid of honor, and the day was beautiful despite the family drama. Lisa sent a generic congratulations card, which I ignored. For the next few years, I maintained my distance from Lisa while building my life with James. We bought a house in the suburbs, and I continued advancing in my career, eventually becoming a partner in my consulting firm. When I turned 34, we decided to start a family, and I became pregnant with our son. Motherhood changed something in me. Maybe it was the hormones, or perhaps the perspective that comes with creating new life, but when my mother suggested reconciliation with Lisa, I found myself considering it. "You're both mothers now," she would say, "and family should stick together." After my son was born, Lisa reached out again, seeming genuinely remorseful. In our first real conversation in years, Lisa broke down crying, explaining that she had been in therapy working through her issues. She talked about her own insecurities, how my success had triggered deep-seated feelings of inadequacy, and how becoming a mother had made her realize the toxicity of her behavior. She promised to be a better sister and aunt moving forward. Over the next several months, Lisa seemed to make good on her promises. She would bring thoughtful gifts for the baby, offer to babysit, and even defended my decision to return to work part-time against some judgmental relatives. Rachel remained skeptical but supported my decision to give Lisa another chance. James, too, began to warm up to the new family dynamic, though he never fully forgot the wedding dress incident. Everything appeared to be improving. Lisa attended family gatherings without creating drama, genuinely celebrated my accomplishments, and seemed to have developed a special bond with my son. I started to believe that people could change, that therapy and maturity had helped my sister overcome her jealousy issues. That brings us to last week, my son's first birthday party. We had planned a small but special celebration with close family and friends. Lisa arrived early to help with decorations, and I remember feeling grateful for how far we'd come. The party was going perfectly, the decorations were beautiful, everyone was having a good time, and my son was enjoying being the center of attention. Then came the cake moment. As James and I were about to help our son with his first birthday cake, Lisa suddenly walked over to the DJ we'd hired for background music. She grabbed the microphone, and my stomach dropped, remembering my 25th birthday. But surely, she wouldn't, not again, not at her nephew's first birthday. Update 1, it's been a week since the birthday party disaster, and I need to share what happened next. As I mentioned in my original post, Lisa grabbed the microphone just as we were about to do the cake ceremony. She excitedly announced to everyone that she was pregnant with her third child, completely disrupting my son's special moment. But what happened next was even more shocking. She walked straight up to me, handed me an envelope, and proclaimed that since I'd had her support during my first year of motherhood, she expected me to organize her upcoming baby shower. Inside the envelope was a detailed to-do list, including venue suggestions, theme ideas, and even a guest list with dietary restrictions. My hands were shaking as I read through it. decades of suppressed anger bubbling to the surface. Without thinking, I tore the list into pieces right there in front of everyone. The room went dead silent. Lisa's smug expression transformed into shock, then tears started flowing. She began wailing about how I was ruining her special announcement and how hormonal I was being. My father, who has finally started seeing through her manipulation, quietly asked her husband Greg to take her outside. My mother, predictably, tried to defend Lisa, saying that as my son's aunt, she had every right to share her joy at the celebration. Rachel, bless her heart, took charge of the situation. She firmly escorted Lisa and Greg out, telling them this wasn't the time or place for such announcements. The aftermath was messy. James was furious, not just at Lisa, but at me too. While he understood my anger, he felt I should have handled it privately instead of causing a scene at our son's party. Later that night, he said something that really hit home: we can't control Lisa's actions, but we can control how we react to them. Most of our guests left shortly after the incident, despite our attempts to salvage the party. My son, thankfully, was too young to understand what was happening and happily played with his new toys. But looking at the half-eaten cake and abandoned party decorations, I couldn't help but feel that Lisa had once again succeeded in ruining a significant moment in my life. The fallout has continued throughout the week. Lisa has been posting passive-aggressive messages on social media about toxic family members and how some people never support others' happiness. She's got our extended family involved too. I've received several calls from aunts and cousins telling me I should apologize for my overreaction. Rachel has stood firmly by my side, even unfriending Lisa on social media after seeing her posts. My father called yesterday to say he understands why I reacted the way I did, but my mother keeps insisting that I need to be the bigger person and apologize before Lisa's pregnancy hormones make her too stressed. James and I have barely spoken about the incident since our initial argument. He's not wrong, I probably could have handled it better. But after years of Lisa hijacking every significant moment in my life, something in me just snapped. I'm considering cutting contact with Lisa permanently this time. Therapy clearly hasn't changed her as much as she claimed, and I'm tired of giving her chances to hurt me. My main concern now is protecting my son from her toxic behavior as he grows up. Am I wrong for wanting to go no contact? Should I have waited until after the party to confront her? I feel justified in my reaction, but the guilt of ruining my son's party is eating at me. Update 2: 2 weeks have passed since my last update, and everything has changed dramatically. What started as family drama has turned into something much bigger, exposing years of Lisa's manipulations and lies. After the birthday party incident, Rachel came to me with some interesting information. Apparently, Lisa had been spreading lies about me to our extended family for years, but that wasn't the worst part. Rachel had discovered that Lisa had been embezzling money from our family's business, where she worked as the financial controller under our father. I'm a certified IT consultant, specializing in financial systems. Using my expertise, I quietly began investigating the company's records. What I found was shocking: Lisa had been manipulating the books for years, siphoning off small amounts that added up to over $200,000. This explained how she maintained her lavish lifestyle despite claiming financial hardship when she only partially repaid me for my wedding dress. I took the evidence to my father's office last week. He was devastated but took immediate action. He called an emergency family meeting, including our extended family who were shareholders in the business. Lisa arrived with her usual smug expression, probably expecting another opportunity to play the victim about the birthday party incident. Instead, my father started the meeting by projecting the financial records I had uncovered. The color drained from Lisa's face as he methodically went through each fraudulent transaction. When she tried to blame it on accounting errors, I stepped forward with my professional analysis, showing clear patterns of deliberate manipulation. But I wasn't done. Rachel and I had compiled a comprehensive dossier of Lisa's years of manipulation, from the wedding dress incident, including a written confession from our aunt, to evidence of her spreading malicious rumors about me to clients and family members. We even had security camera footage from my son's birthday party, showing her practiced performance of the pregnancy announcement. The most damaging revelation came from Greg, Lisa's husband. Pushed to his breaking point by the evidence of financial fraud, he admitted that Lisa had been lying about her pregnancies to coincide with other people's important events. She wasn't even pregnant when she made the announcement at my son's party. She had been planning to fake a miscarriage later to gain more sympathy. The meeting ended with our father making two major announcements. First, the company would be pressing charges against Lisa for financial fraud. Second, he had decided to make me, with my technical expertise and proven integrity, his successor as CEO instead of Lisa, who had been the presumed heir to the family business. Lisa's carefully constructed world imploded. Our extended family, finally seeing her true nature, has cut ties with her. Greg filed for separation the next day. Even our mother, her longtime defender, was silent as Lisa was escorted from the office by security. The aftermath has been swift. Lisa has been suspended from her position pending a full investigation. Our family's lawyer is preparing both criminal charges and civil suits to recover the stolen funds. The shareholders unanimously supported my appointment as future CEO, recognizing that my technical background could help modernize the company. Rachel has been appointed as the new head of our family's charitable foundation, a position Lisa had always coveted. Together, we're working to repair the damage she caused to both our family's business and relationships. As for me, I feel a strange mix of vindication and sadness. While I never wanted things to end this way, I'm relieved that the truth is finally out. James is proud of how I handled everything professionally, and my father has apologized for years of enabling Lisa's behavior. Sometimes justice comes in unexpected ways. I didn't just defend myself, I exposed the truth and protected our family legacy. Lisa's reign of manipulation is finally over, and our family can begin to heal. Update 3. It's been a month since my last update, and the situation with Lisa has taken even more dramatic turns that I need to share. First, the legal proceedings have officially begun. Our company's forensic accounting team discovered that Lisa's embezzlement went far deeper than we initially thought. She had been creating fake vendor accounts and routing company funds through them for nearly a decade. The total amount stolen has now been estimated at over $500,000, more than double what we initially uncovered. The district attorney's office has taken a strong interest in the case, particularly because some of the stolen money was taken from our family foundation's charitable funds. Lisa had been stealing from programs meant to help underprivileged children, a fact that has completely shattered her carefully crafted image as a charitable socialite. Greg's divorce proceedings have revealed even more shocking information. He discovered that Lisa had secretly maintained multiple private bank accounts where she stored the embezzled money. She had been planning to leave him and flee with the funds once our father retired and handed over the company. The irony is that her elaborate pregnancy announcement at my son's birthday party was partly intended to secure her position as the favored child before our father made his succession plans public. The fallout in our social circle has been massive. Lisa had apparently been blackmailing several family friends with information she had gathered over the years. Once the truth about her crimes came out, these friends came forward with their stories. She had created an entire network of manipulation, using people's secrets to maintain her social status and gather inside information about our family business. My mother, who had always defended Lisa, finally broke her silence last week. During a family dinner, which Lisa obviously didn't attend, she broke down and admitted that she had enabled Lisa's behavior out of fear. Apparently, Lisa had threatened to expose some of Mom's past indiscretions if she didn't consistently take her side. This revelation has led my mother to seek therapy to deal with years of manipulation and emotional abuse. On the business front, I've begun working closely with our father to modernize the company's financial systems. We're implementing new security protocols and digital tracking systems that would have prevented Lisa's embezzlement scheme. Rachel has taken charge of restructuring the family foundation, discovering several other irregularities that Lisa had hidden. The most satisfying development came through our extended family network. Lisa had always bragged about being part of several prestigious charity boards and social clubs. As news of her crimes spread, she's been removed from every single position. Her carefully curated social media presence, full of charity galas and social events, has gone completely dark. Last weekend, we received an unexpected visit from her former best friend, who provided us with a USB drive containing years of emails and text messages. Lisa had been systematically destroying my reputation among our social circle since we were teenagers. She had spread rumors about me having drug problems, fabricated stories about me stealing from family members, and even tried to sabotage several of my consulting contracts by spreading lies to potential clients. The evidence was overwhelming enough that our lawyer has added defamation charges to the growing list of legal complaints against her. The civil suit now includes claims for both financial and reputation damages. Yesterday, we had a family meeting to discuss the future of our family business. Father officially announced my position as future CEO to all employees, and the response has been overwhelmingly positive. Many staff members came forward with their own stories of Lisa's bullying and manipulation over the years. We're now implementing a complete corporate restructuring, focusing on transparency and ethical business practices. As for Lisa herself, she's facing serious criminal charges and has been forced to move in with a distant cousin in another state. Her attempts to play the victim have failed spectacularly, especially after Greg's lawyer presented evidence that she had faked several previous pregnancies for manipulation purposes. The cousin she's staying with reached out to Rachel yesterday, saying that Lisa is still trying to scheme her way out of the situation, unable to accept that her web of lies has finally collapsed. The most healing part of this whole experience has been watching our family come back together without Lisa's toxic influence. Rachel and I have grown even closer, working together to rebuild both our family relationships and our business interests. My mother is making progress in therapy, finally understanding the depth of damage her enabling behavior caused. James has been incredibly supportive throughout this process, helping me balance my new business responsibilities with family life. Our son is thriving, surrounded by authentic love and support rather than manipulation and drama. We've decided to establish a college fund for him using some of the recovered money from Lisa's embezzlement, turning her greed into something positive for the next generation. Looking back, I realized that Lisa's announcement at my son's birthday party wasn't the real breaking point, it was just the final thread that led to the unraveling of her entire fraudulent existence. Sometimes justice comes in unexpected ways, and the truth, no matter how long buried, eventually comes to light. Our family's story isn't just about revenge or justice, it's about breaking free from toxic patterns and building something better from the ashes of deception. Lisa's downfall has become our family's rebirth, and for the first time in my life, I feel completely free from her shadow. Update 4: 4 months have passed since my last update. The final chapter of this family saga has come to a close, and justice has been served in ways I never expected. Lisa was sentenced to 8 years in prison last week for embezzlement, fraud, and financial misconduct. The judge was particularly harsh after learning how she had stolen from children's charitable foundations. During the trial, evidence of her similar schemes at previous workplaces emerged, establishing a clear pattern of calculated behavior. She's been ordered to pay full restitution, plus penalties. Greg's divorce is final, and he made sure everyone knows about Lisa's pattern of faking pregnancies for manipulation. His teenage children now spend time with us regularly, building healthy relationships with their aunts without their mother's toxic influence. The most remarkable change has been in our mother. After months of therapy, she's become a different person. At a recent family gathering, she gave an emotional apology for enabling Lisa's behavior all these years. She now works actively with Rachel at our family foundation, focusing on programs supporting emotional abuse victims. Our company has flourished under the new leadership structure. Dad and I have implemented state-of-the-art financial security systems, and last month we secured a major government contract that Lisa had previously sabotaged. The workplace environment has improved dramatically, with previously suppressed employees now thriving in their roles. The extended family held its first Lisa-free reunion last weekend. The difference was striking: genuine conversations, no underlying tension, and a sense of peace that had been missing for decades. Several relatives shared stories of Lisa's past manipulations, leading to collective healing and understanding. A particularly validating discovery came when we found Lisa's old diary in her former office. It contained detailed plans to destroy my reputation and seize control of the family business. Reading it with my therapist helped me understand that her hatred wasn't about me, it was her own deep-seated insecurities. Rachel and I have launched a mentorship program within our company, helping young women in family businesses recognize and combat workplace manipulation. We're determined to turn our negative experience into something positive for others. Lisa's final manipulation attempt, a letter claiming she was the victim of a family conspiracy, backfired spectacularly at her sentencing. The judge's response was perfect. The evidence shows a clear pattern of calculated deception. Your attempt to play the victim, even now, demonstrates why this sentence must protect society from further harm. James and I are focused on raising our son in this healthier family environment. The recovered funds from Lisa's embezzlement have been used to establish a community education trust, turning her greed into something beneficial for others. Looking back at my son's first birthday party, the event that triggered these revelations, I realize it was a blessing in disguise. Sometimes it takes a dramatic event to expose hidden truths. While I never wanted our family to become a cautionary tale, I'm proud we stood up to abuse and created positive change. The chains of manipulation and fear are broken. Our family's legacy will be one of resilience and integrity, not deceit and control. Living well isn't just about revenge, it's about breaking toxic cycles and building something better for the next generation. I want to thank the Reddit community for your support throughout this journey. Your comments and messages helped me stay strong during the darkest moments. Sometimes the path to justice takes unexpected turns, but with truth and determination, positive change is possible.